she had to go talk to them to put me back in. And then I made up a topic instantly. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just wanted to transform. You give me a Figma link, I give you a couple of words. I was so scared at the moment, but right now those that came early, you saw me fidgeting, I broke my code. But then I fixed it like 1 hour ago, and I made a demo, some good stuff. Let's just wait for it. Oh, perfect.
I like that.
So yes, from Figma to Fabulous using Gemini. So by trade, I am an Android engineer. I've been writing Android code for 5 years. But lately, I'm just a software engineer. I do everything because as long as it's documentation, I'll write it. Startup life, you have to learn on the go, you have to do things. So next slide. Oh, perfect. So everyone has talked about this. At this point, you're all masters at the definition of generative AI. So we won't get into it, but it lets you do things and produce work for you. So next slide. I downloaded Android Studio Koala today, the Canary version. I think it's very clean. It's almost glassy. It's like, well, I'm just being sarcastic at this point, but I love the new Android Studio. It's very nice to work with. I played with this. So my session was supposed to be a demo. I thought I was coming up here to open Android Studio for you, show you my code. So when we reach the demo, couple things. Ideally, I'd like to also copy paste my response from wherever I'm fetching my Figma file and put it directly into the Gemini. I think I'll do that for you, but unfortunately, we're not going to do that all the time. Next slide. Oh, so before you build your own software, before you do anything, I'm just showing you research. You have to know who are the players in the industry. Yes. So we have Codia AI. It converts core design to code. It also does that for Kotlin and others, React and so on and so forth. We have the Locofy AI, excellent tool. It converts, I didn't see any Kotlin conversion code, but it's there. So those are both AI. This is not AI. So I've personally used this one, and it's okay. It gets the job done. However, the process is very long. I don't want very long. I want very fast. We don't have time. We have to build fast. We have to iterate. We have stakeholders. We don't have time to be going through. Here you have to install a plugin. And then go to Android Studio, install a plugin. And then your developer has to write the code a certain type of way. We don't have the time. I just want the code. Then go for AI. So those are the players in the market. I'm sure there's very many other players. However, the ones I got time to curate are these ones. Next slide. Oh, perfect. So, because we're talking about generative AI, I'm tech lead at Avigad, this company. And my co-founder is right there recording me. So at Avigad, we're building a platform to help farmers de-risk their farmland. So essentially, we have other tools in the play, but right now we have a major tool, the AI bit of things. Everyone has been talking about fine-tuning and all this good stuff. LangChain, I had someone just talk about LangChain, all that. So at Avigad, we help farmers. We give them hyper-localized advisory in different categories, such that every day they know that I should do this, I should do that. So what do? We use AI to give this advisory. Someone has been talking about knowledge base, was it? Yeah, so we give it our knowledge base, so it's proprietary data, so it's not like for the public, so it's private. So everything, all the speakers have been talking about, we're doing it, we're building cool stuff. I like it. So if you're a farmer, come to us after this. Or if you know a farmer, come and tell me. We'll be our person. Next slide. Oh, perfect. So this is our design. This is what I worked with. I think this is in the Google relay documentation. I picked it from one of the Google Code Labs. I don't remember which one. It was easy to work with, so I decided to go with it. So you can see there's 2 news cards. I copy pasted that one just to test the token limit thingy, but I don't think I did. I don't think I have any instruction surface. Yeah, so we're trying to convert this design to Java Compose. Let's go to the next slide. See. Oh, perfect. So I need 30 seconds of your life, of your time. There you go. Keep playing. Oh, it's playing. Oh, 33 seconds. Sorry. Can you see? So you put the API key. That is from Google. Someone was playing the Google Studio. You get one from there. You put it there. So the app is on GitHub. So you can work on play with it. You put the design link, the instructions for getting the design key are there. So when you run the first time, you get Figma response, and then you get Kotlin. You can see news. You can see. So it's converting. It's actually working. It's cool stuff. Yeah. So it works. So GitHub. You can go and play with it. Yeah. Next slide. Oh, perfect. So these are the steps I went through to create it. First I went to Google AI Studio. I got an API key. Of course I created an API key. I put my repository there, but you can't access it anyway. Next slide. And then who uses Figma? Oh, perfect. Everyone uses Figma. So do you know that Figma has a REST API?
No.
Good. So it does have a REST API. That's how I managed to show you the JSON response. So you go to Figma, you get an access token, you read that documentation. We're developers. Well, most of us, we live in documentation. So you get the access token, and then you go. I was supposed to show you a demo, but I can't. I'm just going to describe it. You open Android Studio, you use Retrofit. If you feel fancy, maybe add dependency injection, whatever. Then you can get a response, and then maybe use Flow or something to listen, because it's a lot of data. It may harm your system. So you pass it down to the clean model, repository, whatever. This is where it comes from, Figma Access Token. The documentation is really good. It's really, really good. Thanks. Oh, so this is a method, you'll find it there. It's a method, when I click the button to fetch, generates Kotlin code, I think. I forgot the name. This is the method it's called. So I pick the link. Essentially, I'm supposed to extract the ID from the link. I wrote the function, but then it doesn't work in my function. So I said just put you just give, your designer gives you a design key, and then just key it. So it's just basically, that's it. It's a very simple method. It does something very simple. It's an one click from the button itself. Next slide. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the fun stuff. So, this really gave me sleepless nights. Well, not sleepless, I'm exaggerating. It was challenging because I think I went through 3 or 2 iterations. First, what did I do? Oh yes, in this section, because the data from Figma is a lot, and see I only had 2 screens, but the 2 screens had components, and the data is nested. Inside each card, there is a text, there is colors, and so on and so forth. So it's deeply, deeply nested. I thought I'd have to go through this process. I did. So at first I didn't, and then every time I send my code to Gemini, I get quota exceeded. I was like 2 days to go to the event. So the thought scared, maybe I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. Let me just keep coding. So I used Gemini to give me the solution, obviously. So it told me, maybe you should flatten. By flatten, I mean, imagine a nest. Component, document, Canva, text, image. So the nest is growing. By flattening it, I'm simply making it one. So I'm literally flattening it, such that it's very easy for my AI to understand and all that. And I don't have to hit the, was it quota exceeded exception? I think that's the exception. I don't like it. And then, because designers have designs that they hide because they don't want to present this. If you're creating a prototype, you have a design that you don't want to show, you hide it, right? So personally, if you're paying for Gemini, they're going to count the tokens, right? I'm just hypothetical. They're going to count the tokens, right? If you send it too many, say you get charged a lot, right? But if you can find a way to reduce the number of tokens by optimizing the response, how? By filtering. You tell it, remove everything that's hidden. Because we don't need hidden code. Designers giving me code to write. I don't need to see the hidden code. I don't need to waste the company's money, for AI. But you get the point. And then it worked, and then it didn't work, and then I was like, let me try batching. Batching is, you see the nests? So I batch into 5 each. So because Figma comes in the form of nodes, yeah? So I batch, so when you loop through, so I told you to loop through, the first 5 nodes, put them together. And remember the nodes have children. So these 5 nodes are huge. The next 5 nodes, loop them together, like that, like that, like that. I only need 5 nodes. This way we save resources. So you're still saving money if you're paying for that service. So this was a very interesting. So if you go to my repo, the code is not very clean, but you'll find a way around it. It's good stuff. You can play with it, you can clean it, you can optimize it how you feel like. Next slide. Gemini, the fun part. Yes, I use Gemini 1.5 Pro. Should I say anything about Gemini? I feel like they've talked a lot about Gemini today. So I used it, I resorted to, after going through the previous function, after going through the 3 iterations, I said, you know what? Because I kept getting an error today morning when I sat there. I'd fetch the response. You know, in Android, there's something called HTTP logger. In the logger, it shows my response from Figma is full, it's working. But then in Android, the response shows now. So the solution for such a scenario, because this is one design. If I switch to another company, I'll get the design from another company. It could be different. So different designs everywhere, obviously. So you know how when you're fetching using Retrofit or any library, even React, whatever, when you're fetching data from the network, you need to display it in a certain, you need to format it in a certain way. So you need to model the data. So user or marketplace or whatever. So imagine this was Figma file, and inside my Figma file there was a document node. So that didn't work because it just didn't work. So what works for robust, verbose data like this one is objects. Well, in Android, it's JSON objects. So now I can fetch any Figma file and just get it. So right now, to be honest with you, I'm not passing. Initially, I started by using Gemini AI in Google Chrome so I gave it the whole documentation for Figma when I was just starting out. I gave it the whole documentation and I told it, give me models. So I modeled it. But then, right now, I'm literally just giving it a string. That's why I'm so shocked it's really fast, but anyway, it works. Next. I don't know if someone touched upon this, but it's all about prompting. It's all about telling your AI model how to give you the response. So if you go to the next slide, this is my very first prompt. So I told you transform the following Figma into DDD, provide only code and nothing else. That's why you saw that there was no comments. When it gives you response normally, it gives you so many comments and suggestions and all this. I told it no comments because I've been using another model and I can't say the name because they told me not to. But that model is paid. The tokens you give him and the tokens you consume are paid for, right? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to really be like, I don't want comments. My company, I don't want to be paying for comments. I'm not here for comments. Give me code. Yeah? Next slide. So that's a prompt. I found this really interesting, a system instruction, because I'm talking about things I use in the app. Yeah. So a system instruction is basically you telling the model, be someone, be a chicken. be a cut. You're a senior architect. So you're giving the model a role, essentially. So yeah, so if you go to the next slide, you'll see my, I told it, it's an expert Android developer proficient in combating Figma designs. So now my model thinks it's an expert Android developer. It's good stuff. It helps to, again, show you the words fine-tune and tune the model to being something and doing something that you really want it to do. Yeah, this was very interesting. So in the code, this is exactly how my response looks like. You give it the model you're using, you put in your API key, you give it the system instruction, and then you pass in the prompt from the previous slide. You pass it in there, and voila, you get your code. Next slide. Success. So yeah, I made this, I got this yesterday. This screenshot, it's like a current. I put it there, but it's not realistic. Who is going to use the Android code you generated in an Android app? Fine, you could copy the code and send it to your developer and tell him, hey, this is it, maybe you can use it like this. It's not realistic, it's not practical at all. So, if you go to the next slide. Well, I was just there dreaming and thinking to myself, so since the Android app is not realistic, what can we do? Today, the very first speaker talked about Africans building for Africans. Most of those platforms I showed you, Kodi and so on, they charge. They charge. So why should you pay for something if you can build it? Better yet, if you can build it together. Do you get? So I was thinking an Android library, you plug into your system and then it does the conversions for you. It saves you time from thinking, how should I structure this? Should I create a box? Should I put the text here? Should I use a column? Or maybe I need a scaffold. It saves you from all that. So, but this would be only useful to Flutter and Kotlin devs, Android Studio. So like, maybe a VS Code plugin. You get? So we essentially tell it, give me this link. I give you code in React. I give you code in Dart. I give you code in HTML and CSS. So this would be applicable to all developers. So it would be like a VS Code extension or something. And then I thought to myself, maybe a web tool for all front-end projects. So this is just like a future roadmap of where I want, or where I thought it could go. And maybe I get some open source enthusiasts and we can collaborate and build something and then apply for Google AI competition that's happening right now. Yeah, you know, get this. Next. Perfect. So that's my name. I'm a software engineer. I work at Avida. That's my LinkedIn. And that's